Thank you for having us. It's great to be back on campus. I am the daughter and sister of a UVA grad. So to say that UVA was part of my childhood is an understatement. We have Virginia decals on our cars. So the colors are very familiar to me, and being back on campus feels wonderful, and it's great to be back here for this purpose. And thank you so much for having us and for being willing to honor and listen to the teen voice. I applaud you for that. Thank you very much. So WIT, whatever it takes, was started based on my experiences as an entrepreneur, a teacher, and a teen. I had seen a lot of things as a teacher that I felt were missing in the classroom, and as a teen, I felt there were some things missing from my life. And so when I decided that I was going to create this program, I went into it with this intention of wanting to create a space where teens felt valued, respected, and heard. And that has continued to be what the intentions are behind this program. Our program is a teen-led program. We have teens on our board, and we are very passionate about getting the teen voice out there. We're also very passionate about entrepreneurship. So our teens are involved, they apply, and they are involved in a 32-week program that meets 2 hours after school, once a week. And during that time, they launch social enterprises, campaigns, businesses, all around answering one question. How would you like to make the world a better place? Now, usually that's met with blank stares at first, because at 15 years old, they've never been asked that question, and they're very worried that there's going to be a wrong answer. So there's that kind of awkward silence, and then I say, no, really, for reals. How do you want to change the world? Look around your community. And then I'll say, well, tell me, when was the last time a principal came up to you and said, how can we make this school better for you? Again, awkward silence. But then I say, really, you spend 8 to 10 hours a day in that place. Don't you think you should have some say into how it's run and whether or not you're getting what you deserve? You are the customer. And this is kind of where it all starts. And then from this place, we start empowering our teens to use their voice and really let them realize that they can make an impact. And so the intention of creating this program was this, like I said, to create these kind of spaces where teens felt heard and valued, and then help them launch these projects. It's turned into more than that, which we're always grateful for, because I feel like our teens lead us and tell us what they want, and we feel honored to give them what they need. We saw them working so hard in their projects, and I thought, you know what, they need to be honored for this, and I think I know how we can honor them with this. So I took a meeting with the dean of UCSD and pitched them the idea of college credit for my teens because of how hard they were working. And he said, well, I'll give you a shot. I'll give it a shot. We'll try it. And now we're 4 years in with that relationship. And we have other universities, hopefully this one eventually, and Tulane University, USC, interested in being our top 10 universities that we're going to offer our teens opportunities to get their credit from. And parents also enjoy that aspect of the program, and the community really honors that as a way that makes us stand out. But there have been challenges along the way, and things like that I think we're all very familiar with. Collecting data on the impact that we're having on what we're doing has been a challenge. We've also felt the challenges of cities around the country wanting our program and figuring out how we can really scale in a very sustainable way that makes sense and allows us to keep the quality of our program intact. We've also felt the challenges of having schools really get on board with what we're doing and being willing to advertise our program at their school. Interestingly enough, we had a private school in San Diego that we are very passionate about mixing teens from all different walks of life into a room together. That's a huge value of ours, is the importance of mixing races, religions, schools in a room, because that's what the real world looks like. People from all walks of life coming together and solving problems. So we wanted to model that as teens. we had a private school that was not interested in that idea. And I quote, "Our parents pay us to keep their kids in a bubble." I was very embarrassed because I went to that school as a kindergarten through 5th grade. It's also a high school in San Diego, but I didn't go to the high school there. I went to boarding school. But when they said that to me, I was so embarrassed. And I will not donate to them, ever. But and the school across the street, which was the public school, was very interested in building that bridge. And so we just do what we do. We do whatever it takes. And we knew that there were kids at that private school that didn't agree with those administrators and wanted to be part of this program. And we got them into the program. And it got us to start creating spaces around the community where our teens could meet outside of the schools that didn't want us. Because we'll meet. You can't keep us from meeting. It's whatever it takes. It's what happens when you name your company whatever it takes. It's what you have to do always. But there have been some other challenges, and I think it's important to hear from the teens about what those challenges have been. So our presentation today is really going to address 3 things: the challenges, the impacts that we've had, and what else are we talking about? And what need it has filled for them. So I'll turn it over to them to speak to the need. What are you speaking with first? Okay, the need that it has filled for them.
Hello, my name is Jovanna Sanchez, and I am pleased to be here, and thank you for having us. So WIT came into my life when I was a junior in school, so it was introduced by my counselor. And although I didn't know what the whole WIT program was all about, I knew I had to give it a chance. And one of those pull factors was that it provided me with college credit from UCSD, which is one of the best schools in California. So when I started attending all the courses, it just felt like the right place for me. And I say that because when I got there, it just felt like a family. And I knew that I was going to build strong relationships and long-lasting relationships with all the teens in there. So after attending my first year, I decided that I wanted to join WIT for another year not because of the college credit anymore, but because I knew that I had to improve my leadership skills. So I knew that WIT was going to be the perfect place to do so.
Hi, my name is Daniela Montes, and thank you for having me as well. When I first applied to WIT, I was hoping that it would fill a need that I had for meeting new people. And since I've been at the same school with the same people since middle school, and we're all considered minorities because we're of low-income families and we're first-generation college-goers, I felt like I had this bubble that I really needed to escape. So when I came into WIT, I was really pleased that there's students from different religions, races, social backgrounds, economic backgrounds, and schools. And I was also pleased that any stereotypes I had about those people were completely disproved. And I'm also grateful that I'm in an environment where I get to learn from everyone.
So now I'm going to speak about the challenges. So as most of all of the WIT teens are involved in AP courses, sports, and other after-school activities. So you might be asking yourself, how do we manage to be at all of those places and still be successful? And one of the challenges has been time management. And one of the things that I always tell everyone is that being at WIT is really enjoyable. And being there and working in our projects doesn't even feel like work, because all of the projects that we do in there are something we're passionate about. So it just comes very easy to be involved in the class. And we've also, when WIT started, it was only 1 hour. And we've asked our facilitators to extend the time to 2 hours. So now we have more time to be working on the projects.
Okay. So as a teenager, sometimes adults don't take you seriously. And when you're trying to launch a project and change the world, it's even harder for them to see you seriously. But since at WIT, we're really empowered to believe in our potential and our capabilities, we become very determined when it comes to our projects. And a great example of that determination is one of our fellow WIT students. Her name is Xochitl Perez, and she spent 9 months trying to launch her project because she faced multiple rejections from different adults and organizations. But since she was so passionate about what she was doing, she did whatever it takes to launch it.
So they've spoken to the needs that WIT has filled for them, the challenges that they faced. And the other thing that we wanted to speak to today was what teens are getting from the program. And because we couldn't bring every teen that we have in California and St. Louis here today, I sent out an email and a text message asking our students, what has WIT done for you? And it's always so wonderful to hear it in their own words, the impact that WIT has had on their lives. And what we're hearing a lot consistently is, I finally have a place to use my voice. Which, I mean, as a teen, didn't you just want to be heard? I mean, didn't you just have things to say and you just were so frustrated people cut you off and didn't take you seriously? And so now we've created that space, and I think when we really think about the teen and their day, they are talked at all day. And they're told what to do, where to go. And I'm not saying all that is bad. I mean, teens need direction and guidance and all that, but I think sometimes they just need to be listened to and really given that space, and for them to process ideas verbally and share what they're feeling and what they're thinking. And our class is broken up, like they said, into 2 hours, and that first chunk of time is around leadership development skills, and then the second part of class is around the real practical work on their projects. And then we wrap up our class with poetry. I'm a big believer that poetry, I mean, that's because I was a teacher, but I feel very strongly that poetry can inspire. And it's a wonderful book called Leading from Within, if you haven't heard of it. It's a beautiful book. It has, on one side of the page, it has leaders like Margaret Thatcher sharing about the one poem that has helped her during a time in her life. And so there's got that great application of poetry in a leader's life. What we also heard from our teens when we asked them how WIT has impacted them is that it's given them I know it's hard to believe this in 2014, but it's given them a chance to break through some of their stereotypes and some of the prejudices that they had. We have teens that have never worked with someone of a different color before, never been in a class with someone who's Mexican, never been in a class with someone who's white, met their first Jewish person in WIT. And it's just because we have these conversations and we do become a family, and all of those things about our backgrounds and where we come from are important when you're trying to save the world and help the world. You take your life experience and share that in order to make an impact. And so I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud that, yes, we are a college credit entrepreneur program and we have rigorous curriculum and all that great stuff, and we need that. But we're also that safe space, which I think is very important to me, that we have done that well. And I'm going to let the two girls speak to what it's done for them.
So what WIT has offered me is a new perspective of life, and I've also become really aware of my community and the needs that we have. And lastly, I've improved a lot in my leadership skills. I've learned that to be a great leader, you don't just worry about yourself. You have to worry about others and bring them up along with you. And that's something I will continue to do in my college and in my career.
So for me, WIT has given me confidence. And the good thing about confidence is that you can apply it to many different aspects of your life. Before WIT, if I was asked to speak in front of my classmates, I preferred to just not go to school because it was really hard for me. But WIT has really helped me with my public speaking skills, and although I'm still getting better, I feel like I've made a lot of progress. And thanks to opportunities like this that WIT has provided for me, I continue to practice. So thank you for having me again.
So we're gonna, because I think it's really important to really see WIT in action, we're gonna show you a video of one of our projects. It's called Choose You. Choose You. Well, let's just watch the video. It'll tell you what it's about. It started 6 months ago when a WIT supporter came to me and asked if I had any teens that could answer the question, how should we solve the obesity epidemic facing our nation? And since WIT is all about empowering teens to come up with ideas to issues such as that, issues that are facing our communities and our world, I knew that I had teens that could answer that question, and they could do so in an innovative way, and they did just that.
The concept we developed was a mentorship program. We noticed the popularity of academic mentorship programs and found research that showed that healthy lifestyle programs that use mentors were more effective on children than traditional classroom approaches. We knew that as teenagers, we're young enough to easily connect with kids, but old enough to act as role models. So we felt that creating a teen-designed and teen-led mentorship program would be a successful approach that had yet to be attempted. Once we were given the green light and the funding, we launched a pilot program in Linda Vista, a diverse urban neighborhood of San Diego. We partnered with a local
Buffering. I can tell you why it's doing that. We did have an entrepreneur in San Diego that had come up to me who actually travels the world trying to solve the obesity epidemic and meeting with doctors. And he felt that he was coming to us almost as a last resort. Do you have any kids that can solve this problem? And the teens went and did some research, and they had to go back to him and pitch their idea, and then he gave them $5,000 to go write the curriculum and launch the project, and they did just that, and that's what this video is going to tell you. But I will tell you that they launched the first pilot program, and the donor, the entrepreneur, was so proud of them and really felt like they had done something, and then it caught the attention of the CEO of the American Medical Association in Chicago. All the teens were flown out to go meet with him and the rest of his board, and they showed up in Chicago, went up to the board meeting, pitched their idea, long pause after the pitch, and they said, we like it. They're now in the process of helping them roll out their program across YMCAs around the nation. And all of the teens were offered internships by the CEO of the American Medical Association. Choose You is one of 15 projects that the teens have created and launched. And when we say created and launched, we mean created. They come up with the mission, the vision, the budget, the business plan. They have to pitch their idea to people. They have to find out a funding stream. They have to figure out a revenue stream if they want that as well. And then they have to figure out how they can launch something that could actually become sustainable and scalable. And this, is it working?
Programs that use mentors were more effective on children than traditional classroom approaches. We knew that as teenagers, we're young enough to easily connect with kids, but old enough to act as role models. So we felt that creating a teen-designed and teen-led mentorship program would be a successful approach that had yet to be attempted. Once we were given the green light and the funding, we launched a pilot program in Linda Vista, a diverse urban neighborhood of San Diego. We partnered with a local community center and elementary school and kicked off the first Choose You program.
Over the course of 6 weeks, we taught 4th and 5th graders tools ranging from how to read a nutrition label to the health benefits of choosing water over sugary drinks. Our mentees got to try completely new foods, like cashews and hummus, and they kept up their lessons in a daily journal. We also took our mentees on 2 Saturday field trips, one to a roller skating rink and another to an indoor trampoline park, which showed them fun ways to be physically active. Throughout the process, we had successes, some setbacks, and ended up learning a lot more from our mentees than we ever thought possible. We knew that we were going to bond with our mentees, but we didn't realize the impact that being in a teaching role would have on us. For me, being able to connect with younger kids and being considered a teacher was something I found empowering.
It's about choice. We're learning about how to make healthy choices, because there's lots of people who will tell you certain ways to eat, certain ways to exercise, but what's always most important is what you decide to do and what you decide is the best for your body. And so we want to help you make the best choices possible.
I think this experience is great, just to educate the kids, give them something that they can use for the rest of their life, and just any kind of impact that I could make that could help them would be great takeaway for me too.
I'd say very informative. because I've gotten to work with kids who are from a different area than me, who had different experiences in school.
Seeing how when my mentee came to class, how he was excited, like, oh, guess what I tried the other day? Like, I didn't eat Gatorade at lunch, I just brought my water bottle instead. Like, I just thought it was really neat how he like chose what he could do.
I think I've learned how to be a better teacher and more compassionate to kids and be more patient overall. And the program's also taught me things I didn't know about my health.
But what I've really learned is that kids have a lot of creativity and a lot of innovation, and when they are able to channel it in a way that stimulates it, they're really open and they learn a lot. And I mean, I've learned so much from just observing the mentees around me and the kids and how they were able to learn and how they took what they learned and applied it to their own life, and that was a really rewarding experience.
Can you share 3 words to describe the Choose You program?
Smart. Fun. Convincing. Cool. Fun. Cool. No exercise. Good for you. Healthy. Keep you healthy. And it's a good program.
What have you learned about so far?
The speed, how fast you eat. Like if you eat fast, that's bad. The 3 S's, serving, size, and speed. To not eat fast. About how much sugar is in like drinks. Like how to tell how many salt and how many sugar is in the drink. Your serving size to keep it balanced.
The idea of being able to take Choose You nationally and positively impacting and empowering even more children is amazing. We were able to prove this concept works at a local and micro level, and believe that with the right people and support, Choose You could make a difference on a macro level. No one can deny that we have a problem facing our nation. But with Choose You, we have created an innovative approach to providing a solution. And all of us involved truly believe that with the right backing, partners, and support, we will be able to reach more kids and finally end this epidemic.
I want to give a shout out to the teams that actually made that video. So we hired team filmmakers to do that, and they certainly did whatever it takes, and thank you for letting us speak to our mission and our vision today. Thank you.